Alright guys, if you clicked on this video, you probably want to know, should you get a food truck wrap? Is it worth the investment? There's so many questions that surround food truck wraps for new business owners or business owners that have done different things to their food trucks and are willing to expand to a wrap this season. So I'm going to kind of discuss that a little bit in a little different format. I actually have a food truck wrap that I'm designing right now, a project for an actual client. And as I break down the design and as I explain to you guys, kind of like the reasons why I'm picking certain design elements, we'll discuss a little bit further on why you should or shouldn't get a food truck wrap. So without further ado, I'm going to share my screen here. And when I share my screen, you guys should be able to see what I have going on. So let me all right, now that you guys can see what I have going on here, let me kind of prefix this or pre just kind of explain to you guys what I have going on so far. So this is the two versions. Yeah, typically I do 3 versions for our clients to kind of pick from and stylistically which direction we're gonna head. So before I do the whole wrap, I stylistically give them options. So we have this version 1 and this one that I call version 3, but that's not enough. We're gonna be doing version 2. I just hadn't had a chance to do it, and this is what we're gonna be sitting here doing and discussing today. So version 1, let's break it down quickly, and then we'll get deeper into it later on in the video. So version 1 is gonna be kind of like a pop art style. I call it like a collage hot Cheeto bag style. So it's gonna be bright. I wanted it to be really bright, really colorful, and just kind of punch you in the face when you saw it. Red is a hard color to print, but our printer can handle a bright red, and I'm confident that it will look really great. So the reason why I'm calling it collage style is because I'm throwing all these images of the food, which is one of the things that our customer and client was adamant about. He wanted the images of his food to kind of entice people to pull over and get there. His logo is very simple. It is this Taqueria El Gordo. And the Taqueria El Gordo is originally in red text for the taqueria part, but I just decided to put it in yellow because everything else was red, so I wanted it to pop. Basically, what I'm going on here for this design is the bright red background, okay? And then over here, I decided, okay, let me take it back a notch and add some black in there just so I could have the taqueria be in red. And I like this one. Think I'm leaning more towards this one because I like the Mexico flag to be nice and big. Just a couple of images, nothing too crazy, just things that people know and love all the time. And yeah, I think this looks good. The other one looks really good too, I believe. That all these images are flowing nicely around it, especially with the little elements that I added in there. But I like this kind of like the way they're laid out. I like that little curve that it's making. I think it flows nicely. So those two are what I have so far. But without further ado, I'm gonna start working on the second option. And now that you can see the potential of a food truck design, you can kind of better understand what I don't know what's going on over here. Now that you understand, there was somebody passing by in the window. Sorry about that. So now that you understand kind of what is possible with food truck designs, and this is by no means all that is possible. There's tons of things that are possible with this. You can, get into it and get more out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of keep on designing, but discuss more a little bit about what you actually get with these. So let me share my iPad screen with you guys because I do have an iPad, and the next design that I'm going to be creating is having to do with this iPad little thing that I'm doing. So let's kind of go in here and set this up. The next style that I'm trying to create is a little bit more like I want these images. I have these little images collaged here, and I'm going to try to explain this as best as I can, even though it is like still conceptually in my head, so it's kind of a little bit difficult for me to like vocalize it just yet. But basically what I want to do is get these little drawings and turn them into kind of like rough drawings, roughen them up a whole bunch so they end up looking like stamps, and then I'm going to collage it all together and use that as a background, and then I'll add in the elements, make it a little bit simpler but a little bit more like color blocking style. So I've been seeing that a lot as far as stylistically going without having images of the food. I don't know how it's gonna look, but we're gonna try it. We're gonna see what we come up with. Okay, so just bear with me as we do this, and let's start knocking out these reasons why you should have a food truck wrap. Um, let's just kind of go in no particular order, but let's just start at number 10. Reason why you should have a food truck wrap is that you're gonna be saving money on a paint job. Basically, you're still gonna have to have nice paint for a food truck wrap, but it helps not having to paint your truck over and over every time that you need to change it, or every time that you need, a new concept. You can use it and evolve. So that is probably reason number one, because I mean it's probably the same cost as paint. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's probably the same cost as a paint job, but it has more flexibility. So that is probably why. I'm gonna get this. Let's see. That's one of the things when you're designing and you're trying to talk. It's kind of like, okay, let me get my bearings, and then I can go ahead and talk a little bit more. I'm gonna go ahead and add in another photo before I get into it a little bit more. And perhaps this one. No, I think I already did that one. Need something with like a taco. Okay. It has to fit the aesthetic that I'm looking for, but I'll go ahead and try this one. And I'll go ahead and turn this layer off. Turn that layer off. Turn all the layers off, and then add an extra layer. And by the way, guys, I am using the Adobe Illustrator app, which is nothing crazy. So I don't understand why all these layers are not turned off. There we go. One of these layers is not turned off. That should be. I guess that one. Let's turn that off. Let's move that up here. And then let's add this layer. Okay. So, again, the reason why you want to have a food truck wrap is for the flexibility that you don't have to keep on painting over the same thing over and over. So flexibility is, a good reason to invest in it. You can swap out the wrap at any point that you want. You can swap out the wrap for a new design. These wraps last quite a bit of time from what we've seen from our clients and from what we've seen in general, especially because we only use high quality brands when doing these wraps. Our preference is Avery Dennison, which is a highly known brand in a vinyl material. And not only that, using a high quality vinyl like we do helps a lot in not only the installation process, the color payout, and the longevity of it, but it also helps when it comes down to the removal process. Because let's say down the line, for example, here our client decides to add some, new dishes to his things, like, I don't know, a different type of taco or something, a different type of meat or something that's a little bit more, tailored to what he's going to be doing. Then at that point, it would be beneficial to be able to swap out the wrap at any point in time that you would like. You're not limited to what you originally got. Easy application, easy removal process. It helps a lot. All right. Now, another reason why you might want to get it, this is a very like low, like not common known reason for getting a food truck wrap. It is that food truck wraps actually, or wraps in general, whether it be for a food truck or whether it be for your car, it's actually going to add a layer of protection to your paint, to your vehicle. So let's say you're driving down the road, there's, you know, a little dirt or whatever. If you have your bumper protected, if you have the lower part, you're going to be protected from those like little rock chips and things like that. And if you are like, especially with food trucks, you gotta park it in this weird spot. You could have like branches hit it. If the vinyl rips, that can be replaced. But if you get paint, you get damage to the paint, you get damage to the actual body of it. You know, that's probably going to be a higher cost item, a higher ticket item to fix, to repair, than just repairing the vinyl wrap. So those are things to consider, that it provides a layer of protection. Now, I'm not going to say it's a huge layer of protection, but you know, sometimes you need it. You get away with things by the skin of your teeth, and that is kind of what the wrap provides, just that extra little layer of protection there. And that's all you need sometimes. So, and again, these are some rough shapes that I'm tracing out. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Once I bring these into actual Illustrator, I think it'll come together a little bit more and it will look really cool. So, I'm going to take this off of here. Yeah, it's a lot of peppers that I have traced. I need some tacos. Some tacos. That's what I'm looking for. Like a layer with tacos in it. And none of those have a taco. Oh, I think this one has a taco. Did you guys see that? Yeah, that's a taco right there. All right, let's try that one out. All right, so while I'm trying that out, let's move into our next reasoning for getting a food truck wrap. And it would be because it will allow you to spread your brand. So I guess I don't know what number we're at, but another reason to get a food truck wrap, another reason to get a food truck wrap, it is because it will help your brand and your identity. So having a food truck wrap with your branding on it, with your logo on it, establishes that you mean business. Without it, like just having some lettering on there is good. It's a good start. But if you really want to step up your game, if you really want that notability, if you really want people to see you as a professional, to see your location, your spot, your, you know, like your presentation has so much to do with your like business. If you don't present yourself well, if you don't present yourself in like having a professional logo, having a professional like looking style setup, people are not going to trust you as much as if you were, you know, set up professionally. Like that is just the world that we live in. Those are the standards that are set for anyone who is running a business. You want to make sure that you have a professional looking setup, and a professional looking wrap. It's going to help you out a lot with that. Oops, what's going on? Yeah. So that is another good reason to get a food truck wrap. All right, let's go back here. Let's do this taco now. And sorry, it requires a little bit of focus when I'm doing this. You know, you be tuning out sometimes. You be like, all right, nope, no FaceTimes. No FaceTimes right now. All right, back to it. There we go. Cool. All right, so back to this taco. Give me something else. Something cool. Let's turn that off. Turn that layer. Turn that layer off. Off. I saw a bowl of nachos here, but let's go into Google and try to find another one of these cool looking little images, and then off of these I will create whoa, my throat. Off of these I will create a little stamp that we're going to be using as a background element for this design. And this type of designing does require a little bit of patience just because it has so many layers to it that we have to add. We want to make sure we get something interesting put together because we do have, already two solid designs. So I want to make sure that this one looks completely different, and because of that, we will take a little bit longer to get it set up. Set up? Yeah. That's the word I was looking for. Cool, cool. Alright, let's keep on rolling and strolling. Let's see what we find. This nachos plate is kind of cool. Nachos and chips. I could do this one. I could do that. And again, this is going to be such a rough trace. The idea is for it to look rough. So, but with a little bit of a thick outline. It's very hard to describe what I see in my head right now. But no worries. Once I start putting it together, I feel like you guys will see it. You guys will see it like come to fruition. All right. I just want some interesting elements. So these little hearts and dots are kind of interesting. So I'll take this one as well, so I can add those on here. And let's keep on rolling through. Again, what I'm casting right now is my iPad, so you guys can see what I'm looking at. And the way I'm searching for this isn't of a very particular matter. I'm looking for a specific look, specific style that can be translated into what the heck is in my head. So, let's take... I guess we could take this one too. I don't know. I like this pepper combination over here. Alright. Just a couple more elements. Just a couple more. I like this mask, so I'll take this mask. And just a couple more, guys. Just a couple more. Close, please. Nothing too crazy. Something like this may work too. Like a little Aztec calendar. But I will need thinner lines to do that. A little bit thin. A little bit of a thinner line. A skull with the hat. That's cute. I hope it works out how I want it to work out. I spelled that wrong. Aztec calendar. Come on. Calendar icon, because I want it to be simple. Very, very simple. Not too simple though. Alright, that's just way too simple. Alright, I'll download it and then see what I can do with it. Something like this will work. I'll just have to draw it out in Adobe Illustrator, so it has that rough stamp look that I'm looking for. Alright, so back to our page here. And back to another reason why you should get a food truck wrap. Alright, so I think we're like on reason 4, 5, 6, not sure. But anyway, another reason why you should get a food truck wrap is because they are going to be cost effective. So it is cost effective advertisement. So what does that mean? Cost effective advertisement means that what you're going to put in, you're going to get out because it's going to be a consistent advertisement. So it is going to be constantly generating some type of advertisement for you, some type of publicity for you. And whoa, why can't this be placed? There it is. Okay. I guess we'll run it there. Cool. All right. So again, another reason to get it is because it's going to be cost effective advertisement. So what does that mean? That means that when you put that wrap on your vehicle, what's going to happen is that people are going to notice you no matter where you are. It's going to pop off. People are going to see, oh, okay, this guy sells tacos. Oh, okay, this guy sells soul food. This guy sells wings. Things like that. So people are going to notice your wrap. They're going to notice what you have. And if it's nice, if it's a nice wrap, if it's appetizing, if people, see it, and it kind of gets them craving, it kind of gets them thinking, like, especially for these wraps that we're doing right here. This one, boom, you get this image of tacos. Like, as soon as you see that, you're gonna go hungry. And I mean, the design has a lot to do about it. You got to think about it as an advertisement campaign that you're going to be having on 24/7. It literally is doing the work of creating sales for you without having to do any actual work. Like, once you have it set up, once you have the design done correctly, you're going to be, having that advertisement coming in constantly. All right? And another thing with food trucks and any wrap in general, the design is key. A good design can make or break you when it comes to whether it's a worthy investment for you. So, I would definitely say that when it comes to design, you want to make sure that you work with your designer, especially with what we do. Like, for example, what we do here is that we'll give you three initial options, but we always leave the table open for you to make sure that you have, what you need in a design wise, like that you have the style that you want. But what I would say, more more likely than not, if you want a successful wrap, you have to trust a designer. They're literally a professional. They know what they're doing. They do this all the time, especially for us. We do this all the time. So I would say you gotta trust them. If you don't trust who you're working with, then that's a big problem as far as that goes. So yeah, for us, at least the design process is very like clear. We like to make sure that you have all the information that you need to make a decision on the wrap, and we do always recommend check out our work. Let us know if that's something that you like, or if you have a mood board or a style that you're going for. Send it over to us. We'll let you know, hey, that is something that we can do, we like to do, and we'll be able to create that for you. Or, hey, man, that is probably not the style that works best for us, and that's okay. And, we might not be able to create what you're looking for. 9 out of 10 times, we're able to create exactly what our customers are desiring because they allow us to freestyle. When you let your designer freestyle, like what my client did here, you allow us to free flow and create better and better designs every single time. That's literally how you're going to get a better design out of a designer. Just let them do their thing, man. It's kind of like an artist. You can't expect an artist to work like it's not a paintbrush. It's not going to do what you want. It has a particular set of skills. It's a person. But yeah, just want to make sure that you are taking into consideration the design. Design is not to be taken lightly. It is to, spend your time reflecting on it, getting the knowledge on it. If you have any questions regarding design, whether this is a good idea or not, always consult your designer. I am more than happy to help. My design team is more than happy to help with kind of strategizing the best play for your business, strategizing the best direction and, you know, direction and design to go for. Okay. And what often ends up happening with people in design is that what I recommend my clients to do is to always look at the work that we have done in the past, whether that be on our Instagram, whether that be on our TikTok. And once they have looked at that, also look up some examples online of styles that they might be interested, things that they like, and create a basic mood board, whether it be with the colors you like, whether it be the fonts you like, whether it be, you know, kind of just try to envision what you think it should look like. Um, I wouldn't focus too heavily on it. Like I wouldn't, as a business owner, it's more about trusting the designer. But if you provide some guidelines that match your identity as a business, that will help you get a result. And yeah, for example, this client, all he did was provide me his logo and provide me his preference on colors. And then other than that, he said freestyle. I trust what you do, and that's all I need. And because he provided that trust for us, what I'm going to provide is a higher quality product, and I'm going to provide kind of some more interesting design elements that opens the door to creating something very interesting, very unique, and I like that. All right. Let me just kind of focus on this line real quick, and then we'll jump into our next reason. All right, so let me come to a nice stopping point over here. All right, so another reason why you want to take care, another reason why you should get a food truck wrap is because of the social media impact that you can make. When it comes to businesses nowadays, going viral is, number one. If you go viral, if you grab the attention of people, if you grab the attention of influencers, that can boost up your business. I've seen this happen over and over with businesses, whether they go viral on TikTok or Instagram. A lot of influencers are more willing to work with you, or are more willing to shout you out, or people are more willing to, hold up their phones and take a picture of your wrap if it looks cool, if it looks dope, if it's something interesting, if it provides an interesting background. It's kind of like putting on a show for social media. If people like it, they will share it. And if they share it, that means that you're going to get that organic traffic. So that is always a goal to have when you have a business, is to bring in organic traffic. So something big, something bold, make a statement. Don't be afraid to go crazy on these wraps. That is what, at least that is what I suggest to all my clients, is that whenever you're doing a wrap, bro, you're doing a wrap. You might as well go all out. You might as well get crazy with it, get creative with it. I like to do mixed wraps where, whether it be a mix of lettering, whether it be a mix of a special vinyl. One of my things that I kind of really lean towards is using matte or satin finish laminates to give it a special little, extra little element that you don't see often. Most food truck wraps are done in glossy wrap, which it's cool. It's a standard. It fits the vibes, but I just like something about satin matte finishes. I like the way they look. I think it looks a little bit more expensive. It looks a little bit cleaner, and I think part of that is because it ends up looking great in photos, and that is going to be one of the things that you should prioritize in your wraps, because again, you want to have an attractive wrap, an attractive element to bring people in to snap a photo, share it, get the conversation started, and the wrap does that. And like, people can share a picture of your food next to the wrap. It just looks cool. Give them a background. People want to take selfies. People want to share things online that they do. There's a thing that I say which is there's no picture, it didn't happen. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have a picture of it, if it's not Instagrammable, it didn't happen. You're not even there. You don't exist. And also with that, it allows you to have, content to create for your own social media channels. So, what does that mean? That means that with the wrap, you can go ahead and stand in front of your food truck showing off your food. You can just show off the food truck. You can show, hey, look, we're parked out in this location. Come hit us up. Stop by the food truck. Do like that. Like there's so much opportunity to create content and for content to be created organically when you do that. So the investment that you're putting in to it is so little compared to what you're going to get out of it. And that is something that, you want to heavily consider. Sometimes if your food truck is larger, then it's going to be, a higher amount. Like it's going to be a higher amount, but also like you're going to get a lot of publicity out of it. So, for example, I'm just going to kind of take these examples. If I'm if I have like I'm going out with my friends or whatever and I see this one parked next to and it has like a nice satiny finish, something crazy. If it's parked in a lot of food trucks, and that is what I consider when I'm designing, if it's parked in a lot food full of food trucks, how am I going to make this one pop off? And the way I'm going to make this one pop off in particular for my client is to have these bright gripping colors and to have that matte satin finish on it. Another thing that I like to add, at least for this one, speaking design wise, is I added these little arrows which give like this this text adds a little something that grabs your eyes to read it. Like it inspires you to read it. Yes, the photos of the food is what's gonna make you stop in front of it and be like, yo, that actually looks really good. Let me stop. It makes me hungry. And then the little text keeps you interested while you're in line, while you're waiting for your turn to get fed. So, it's something nice. And another thing that I add for that social media presence is I always add the QR, and I always encourage these owners of these food trucks to get themselves a setup with like a link tree or set up all their social medias under the same name so people can easily scan you and, have that presence. On these wraps, I think once the social media accounts are formulated for this particular client, what I'm going to do is I am going to speak with them about adding some type of text that says, follow us to see more delicious food or see what's behind your like tacos or something interesting, some interesting text that will encourage people to share even more. So that is something that I push a lot with making these designs, is preparing it for that social media notoriety, providing preparing it for content to be created based off the strength of the wrap design. So it kind of future proofs your design for the next couple years if you have a good base as far as the design for people to share, for people to, just encourage that behavior from people to treat it as if it were an event that they were going to. Okay? So, definitely social media awareness is one of the top reasons why you should be leaning towards getting a full truck wrap. All right. And let me keep on going here with this. I'm just kind of freestyling. Again, the idea is for this to be very rough, stamp looking, hand drawn looking. So I think we're going to be able to achieve my vision, my greater vision. Oops. I could feel the iPad getting hot. It's funny. Because it's making so many vector lines that the vector lines will kind of drag you on. But luckily this has an M2 chip, so I'm just gonna make it handle what it needs to handle. Alright, and it's also casting to the PC, so that also makes it run even hotter. All right, let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. Keep on going. Keep this circle going. And I will be filling some of these spots in a minute. In a minute. Just give me a minute. You always have to focus whenever you're drawing lines. It's not something that you can just do. At least not for me. All right, let's get into it. Let's get into the next reason why you should why you should look into getting a full wrap. And another reason will be because drink a little bit of coffee. All right, so another reason why you should look into getting a wrap for your food truck is because it is flexible. The options are flexible. Let's kind of discuss what I have here for this client so you guys can understand what I mean by flexibility. So, flexibility means that you can do anything between lettering, half wrap, or full wrap. So here, our client had a particular budget that they were trying to achieve, and that's something that we are really good about. And it is about stretching every single dollar for you, making sure that you are getting the most out of your investment, and you will make it tenfold. Any wrap on a vehicle will is guaranteed to make a tenfold increase on your sales or in the investment. So I never worry about that. But anyway, let's go ahead and kind of discuss what our client did here to save himself a little bit of money, but also have that boom element. So first of all, since he was on a budget, he decided that what we were gonna do is the whole entire front of the truck is going to be a full wrap, full wrap, so everything printed, everything cool like that. And then the back is just gonna be lettering and an image, like a half wrap style. That way, you're not having to pay for the full square footage, and that helps out a lot. And that the the thing about that is that it can go like very bad very quick. So what we did to kind of elevate that is be very precise about the design. So the design has to be very teed up. The designer has to be on their A game in order to make it work. For me, I decided that what I was gonna do is I was gonna add this little taco image here, kind of folding over. This is actually one of his pictures, so that's good. It represents his brand and things like that. And then added the meats to kind of match the font of the menu, and it still all flows very nicely with what's going on in the front. So, and the background is just going to be white because the food truck is white in the back. And changing that color would end up, costing a lot more than what they had in their budget. But this still kind of flows nicely with this because of the red, because of the food image. So it's still giving that what you need. It gives all the information that you need, and I think this flows really nicely. So when it comes to that, whether it be like full wrap, half wrap, or lettering, you have options to make it flow nicely, and we have done all types of these styles. So let's just go in here and do a food truck. Let me show you guys real quick. So this is another wrap that we done, and this is a full wrap. So this would be your full 9 yards. All of the bells and whistles going into it. But this is a very big truck. So this right here was a very, very big truck to do. And it has every single element. But I'm trying to look for one that we did that was just lettering, because I want to prove to you guys Marvelous Creations. What was it called? I want to prove to you guys that you just need a little bit of creativity. How do you spell marvelous? Marvelous. I need to know how to spell marvelous. I know this is frustrating for some people because you guys can spell. I can't. Okay, so this right here is what we would consider just lettering, and it still has that effect to it. It still has a printed image because I feel like if you're gonna have a food truck, I can't really just get away with lettering. You need something with color to bring people in. This was a super, super, super like tight budget, but we were able to stretch it so she could get exactly what she needed. It still looked good. It still looked nice, and you know, it's simple. It's not too much. It fits a budget, and I thought it came out great. Yeah, I thought it came out great. Look at it. I like the pink color. It adds a little bit of pop, and it's just big, bold lettering. So there are options whether you're doing full wrap, half wrap, or just lettering. You can get creative with these things. So um, even with this, I had a couple of different options where I added dots all over. They just didn't like that idea, but you can get away with quite a bit on these food trucks, design wise, to still make your your presence known and make it professional. Make everything that you do look professional, look good, and stand out in a lot full of people. Obviously, what's going to stand out the most design wise is going to be that you get a full wrap done. Or an idea like this where you have a full on the front and then on the back you have a half, and then you'll get something done after that. So that's kind of the idea that we're going for, and that's kind of what the options that you have as far as flexibility and design styles in case this type of full wrap, full printed image background is not for you. There are so many different options that you can do design wise. So that is design. All right, let me get these lines done so then I can import this over into Adobe Illustrator and keep it going. Keep it going. Let's get some. Hopefully, you guys are finding this useful information as we're just kind of discussing and drawing at the same time. Just decided to try a new format of creating this type of content, and I hope that it is helpful. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think, and if this info is helpful in determining whether you're going to be doing a full wrap or not. There we go. All right, cool. Let's do that. And yeah, that's super rough. I like it. All right. Let me go ahead and share this file to start live streaming. You can live stream this directly from the iPad. Oh, you guys can't even see my screen. I didn't know Adobe Illustrator let you live stream. Let's click on that. Let's see what that does. What does that do? What the heck? It lets you do that? That's crazy. I didn't know that you could do that. So that is insane. Well, let's go ahead and export this. Quick export as AI. And I guess I'll just have to send it through WhatsApp. Because I can't really share it with anybody there. Oh, I can't even share it with WhatsApp. Okay, I'm just gonna... I'll email it to myself. My little keyboard. Alright. Sending it over, and then I'll close this window, and then we're gonna get into it. Give that a minute. And then let's go into our email, and let's see where it goes. Let's see. download it. And let's see all the different layers. There's our file. See all the different layers. I'm gonna go ahead and move this thing out the way so we can get into it. Right. Okay, cool. All right, let's get into this real quick. Let's see. Close that out. Okay, cool. All right, so again, my idea for this is to make a rough, like, stamp looking thing. So that is what I'm going to focus on and trying to get that done right now. But let's keep on going. Let's keep on going, guys. And it's very interesting what the Adobe app does. Like how it just creates lines out of the paintbrush. Very interesting. But I'm going to go ahead and expand this. Right, expand it. And I want it to be like that. And hopefully all the shapes are closed off. Because what I'm about to do is I'm going to try to fill in some of these shapes. So let's see what it's got. If not, I'll have to draw some more stuff. And why didn't I connect my iPad directly to my PC and just start drawing with AstroPad? I don't know. I don't actually have an answer for that. But that was an option. So maybe I'll do that for the next design that I do. But I just thought it was easier to do it on the iPad. I don't know why. Natively on the iPad. Alright, so now I can go ahead and delete that. Alright, now here's where we're going to get a little bit interesting. I'm going to copy this, and now I'm going to go ahead and kind of start deleting areas which I don't feel like fit the vibe that I'm going for. So we're just going to delete that. And then everything else I will color in blue. You'll see. You'll see my idea, hopefully. Hopefully I'll see my idea. Hopefully. Alright, just keep on going. Don't mind me. I'm just going to delete that. And I'm kind of just strategically picking and choosing what areas need to be exposed and what areas need to be closed off. And should probably do that. These wigglies out. And I'll keep that open and keep the inside of that loop closed. And hopefully it'll make sense in a moment what I'm trying to... Oh no, that could have been cool. Actually, Control Alt Delete. We need to go back in here. And what I'm going to delete is the blue. Well, whatever. I made a copy. I always make a copy just in case I mess it up. Interesting. Okay, I got it. Make another copy. And I'm going to copy it. I'm going to open a new one. I'm going to go in here. And it should have been CMYK. I don't know why I didn't do CMYK in the beginning. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to select that. And then to get rid of the rest of the color, select. And then same fill color, delete. Okay, cool. Alright, let's talk about another reason why you should get a food truck wrap. Meanwhile, I kind of mess around with here. But if you can see, if you can get the rough idea, is that this is going to be a stamp. And then I'm going to have the other symbols that I've created throughout this week. And we're going to show you guys what it'll look like once I start putting it together. I'll add little lines and like weird stuff in between it to give it a little bit more of that that look that I'm going for. All right. And All right. Sorry, I have to send a quick text. Okay. There we go. All right, so this is a cool little thing. Let's go ahead and see what other symbols I have. I have this taco. Okay, let's see what that can do. Let's see if this even comes out nicely. Object, expand, do that number, and then I'll do this number. And then I'm going to do that number. And then I'm going to do that number. Then I'll do that. Just like that. Oops, nope, I'll do that. And then I'm going to delete this. And then I'm going to delete that. And that gets us our other little taco. And I'll just put them all in this area right here. Just like that. Okay, very nice. Very cool. Got the taco. And got the asset calendar. And I'm going to go ahead and save as. And I'm just going to do the food truck. And I'll do background icons. That's what I'll call it. Don't know what to call it otherwise. All right. All right. Let's keep on rolling through here. All right. So another reason why you want to get a food truck wrap is going to be if you grow your business. One, if it's your first wrap, great, awesome. But what ends up being the case is that once you wrap one truck, you're gonna end up growing your business inevitably. And once you grow your business, what you're gonna be able to do is expand your fleet. And if you have a set design, a nice design, you're gonna be able to keep on pushing that through the rest of your fleet. So it makes it a whole lot easier to manage that aspect. So that's why I do encourage you having a nice, long, deep session of thinking up what is going to be the best design option and not just kind of pick it willy-nilly. It is best to kind of pick it wisely, because once you expand, once you grow, this is going to be something that you can expand through a whole amount of fleet, and not just for food truck, but regular truck wrap for your restaurant. What we're actually doing for our client here today, this one Taqueria El Gordo, is we're not only doing a design for a food truck, we got menu designs. I'll pull that up as well. We got menu designs, we got window designs that we're doing, we have a channel letter sign that we're designing for him. So there's several elements that are going into this, and by focusing in on the design, focusing in on the idea, on the concept, letting us freestyle, we're able to create all these different options. These are some of the options that were worked on for the menu. And as you can see, there is a variation of style, there's a variation of elements. He obviously selected this one right here, the middle red option, just because it popped off. He just liked the bright colors behind it, but all the other options he appreciated and liked as well. So as you can see, you can expand that design not only from the food truck, but to the rest of the items that are going to be consistent in your business. The rest of the signage in your business can be consistent if you focus well on the design. So now I'm going to expand these, and I'm going to keep carrying out this design thing that I'm doing right now to create the element that I'm looking for, that interesting texture that I was searching for. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep on going at it. This one is a little bit tougher. I think maybe I'll just have to fill this little chili in, just like that. Yeah, I think these ones are just gonna be filled in. No lines, no crimes. Just fill it in, just like that. Okay. So get these chilies. Come over here. Put them right there. And there are some other ones where they don't have this, so that is fine. That's completely fine. by me because this one, yeah, it doesn't make sense without the outline. So whatever. Let's keep on going. What else we got? Okay, this one starts getting a little bit interesting. There's a lot more elements to it here. So let's see what we can create that makes sense and looks good and will, work out for us. So let's try this Morocco real quick. And I'm going to go to Object, Expand. I'm going to do that number. I probably shouldn't have done that. I probably should have done this, and then done that. Okay? And we are going to keep on pushing through here. I'm going to go ahead and save this before Adobe Illustrator crashes like it likes to do. So, what are we going to call this? What are we going to call this? I'm just going to call this background icons. Whatever. It's important to label your stuff before you forget what the heck you're doing. Alright, so let's kind of fix all these elements up, and then I'll just put them all under one red blanket, and that should do it. That should do the job. But I like to make copies, so I'm going to go ahead and expand this. Object, expand, do that number. Beautiful. Alright, this is a rough looking skeleton. Hopefully it will fix itself once we start doing all the other elements. Expand, appearance, do that. Girl, you need to make a copy. I'd be forgetting to make copies. But I cannot live without a copy, because if you don't make a copy, what ends up happening is that you'll forget. You'll mess something up. Happens every time. That I'm like, oh, I don't need a copy. I'm confident. Alright. Do that number. Awesome. This glass of tequila, I don't know if I'll use it or not, but I'm still going to expand it and give it a go. See what it can offer me. Avocado. Give that over there. Looks cute. I like it, actually. I like it a lot. Alright, and do that number. Alright, and I'm just gonna keep designing and keep it going. Let's see what else we got as far as reasonings why you should get a food truck wrap. Let's keep discussing that. Alright, so another reason to do this, and I think I talked about this a little bit earlier on. Another reason to get a food truck wrap is that it reflects your professionalism. It shows people that, yes, you care about the appearance of your business. So, yes, you're going to care about how you serve the food. And this doesn't just go for, like, food, but it also goes for any other stuff, because lately what I've been seeing is people not just wrapping, like, for food trucks, but they also do wrap designs for, like, mobile barbershops, mobile pet shops. Mobile, pet groomers, mobile makeup artists. You can do this on a number of, like, businesses. You can do this for, really, you can do this for any business. You can wrap any vehicle for any business, and it's always going to be guaranteed success if the design is good. I will tell you that. The design has to be strong. The design game has to be strong. Why? Because that is going to guarantee that you're going to have a return on investment, that it's going to look professional, that it's going to bring people in and grab the attention of people. So, again, I'm kind of like harping on the design of it being good, and that's because I'm serious about it. You have to have a good design in order to be able to mobilize, mobilize that piece of advertisement, basically, that you're getting, and make it worth what you're putting into it. All right. So that is another reason. It makes you look professional when you have, whether it be lettering, half wrap, final wrap, whatever, what you have something on your truck showing that you care about the quality of your service. Cool. Let's keep it rolling over here. Thing about designing, sometimes you need a lot of focus to get things done. And yeah, oh yeah, I like the way the skull is starting to look. It looks a little creepy, a little like a stamp, but yeah, the vision is coming together. That's for sure. Ugh, these peppers, I'm trying to make them work, but it's just, I feel like, yeah, it needs to be a little bit more like that. I'm gonna turn this thing fully in red. Let's see what it gives me. Okay, I do like that, but I'm going to separate this quite a bit more. A little bit more dramatic, like that. Okay, I like that quite a bit more. quite a bit more. And I'm going to... no, it's not giving what I wanted to give. Alright, so I'm actually going to, for this one, I'm going to ungroup it. For this one, I do want this outline to be red, so I'm going to go ahead and swap it over to red, but then start deleting some of these little holes right here. So, let's kind of do that right now. So red, but we got some of these holes that I can kind of free up to give it that more cactus appearance that I'm looking for. So let's just go to that. Oh, I guess that doesn't want to work. But let's do divide. Let's see if that helps. Yeah, that'll work. Alright, I'm going to just release these. No? Alright, let's go back. Go back a couple steps. And this is kind of trial and error. I haven't done this before, so I'm just kind of fidgeting around to see what will work. And I'm just going to make these little holes something that I can remove. And then these would be kind of like the thorns on it. So hopefully it looks like I want it to look. Hopefully. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. We won't know until I'm done. I love that about design. I don't really know. Like you can have a vision in your head of what you're planning to do, but once you actually execute it, it will be something completely different because you start seeing different patterns once you start doing it. And that's kind of what happened in this case. I started to do those other designs and I liked them quite a bit, but then I started to imagine this one in my head. So, you know, this one takes a little bit more effort because it has a lot more layers to it as far as like the steps that it takes to achieve this look, or at least the steps that I think it's gonna take. And I just kind of decided, okay, I'm just gonna go for it, see what happens, see what ends up being created. But it is very this one is a little bit more time consuming of a design, so I do hope it turns out well. But if it doesn't, then it is what it is. I can't let it just live in my head. I have to make it to be able to see. Ooh, yes, that is cute, actually. I wish I had an extra flower there, so I'm gonna actually steal you. I'm gonna steal you, little flower. And I'm gonna add it onto there, so just like that. I know it looks like a really rough shape, but bear with me. Bear with me. You'll see the vision in a minute. There it is, and then expand that. And sometimes you just gotta trust yourself. Sometimes it will look good, sometimes it won't, but whatever. I'm happy with that. I think that looks actually pretty cool. And let's just keep on rocking it. Keep on rocking it. Keep on going over here. See what is possible. Let's do the label like that, and then let's free that up. I need that freed up. I need that one freed up, please. There it is. Alright, now we can turn everything red to see what it would look like together. Okay. I'm not mad at it. I don't know if I'm completely sold on it, but I'm not mad at it. But it might end up adding a little bit of interesting into it. So I'm just gonna silence that, because what is that? Alright. Just a random call. I don't know if it's a spam number. It's not from here. But we're still gonna keep it pushing. Let's see. And this one can just be all red, to be honest. Yeah, that'll work. And actually, this should be a little bit closer. I don't know why I was so dramatic with the thing. Maybe it's because my brush was like a lot bigger. But yeah. And I could add a couple of those. Around the design. Very cool. Very nice. This one, I think we'll just need the pit, and that can be red. Maybe this. No. Maybe the pit and that. Okay. We'll live with that. And I don't like that. I'm just gonna copy that. And you can start seeing some of these elements will come together. As you can see, they're gonna come together in that stamp like feel that I'm going for. Maybe you can see it now. But yeah, this is the idea. Have this like that. Something something like that, right? And then I'll use this as a background with it. I just need to get these icons to be interesting enough to merit that. And I think we're getting there. I think they're starting to become a lot more interesting. So let's keep rolling. Let's keep on rolling. All right. I like this a lot, but I do think that I went kind of heavy on the vectors there. Don't matter. They really don't matter too much. I mean, this is where I realized that coloring them in probably not the best choice. But like I said, yeah, probably not the best choice to color them in, but oh well. Don't care. Go and back to it. Oops. That one. That one, and then delete. And that way I can see the shape that I need. These ones are already basically in the right shape. Coloring them in allowed me to see exactly what I needed to do, and I think that benefited me. And this one, I'm probably just gonna color it in like that, so it still kind of keeps that thick line. I like that quite a bit. I like it quite a bit. And then some of these little flowers, probably could have done a little bit different. And I probably will go back and add more of these flowers, because I think these are going to be so cute. Cool. Alright, yeah. But all these look nice and rough. Whoops. What happened there? I'll go ahead and... I'm actually going to make a copy of this, because I like it both ways. So let's do that. Yeah, let's turn this into red. Nice. And then these will start to mix and mingle with all the other stuff that I have. So it will give it a nice little look. I'll add more flowers all over the place like these. Very nice. Here's a couple more elements that I found interesting. And I think this is our last set of elements, so we should be able to finish up quickly here. Yeah, we should be able to finish up nice and quick over here. But let's go ahead and finish this off. I know this is such a like multi-step design process, but I think it's worth it. If you take your time to just design something different, the outcome tends to be a little bit better. So that is just really what I wanted to hop on here and do. All right. All right. Well, I think that we are at a nice little stopping point here for this, for this video. So I'm going to go ahead and call it a day for that. But I did hope that you guys learned quite a bit of stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera out. Alright guys, so like I said, this is the stopping point of today's video. I hope you guys learned quite a bit about whether it be about the design of a food truck, should you invest in a food truck wrap, should you invest in something like this or a different style, whether it be lettering, half wrap, any of those styles that I mentioned and I showed you guys previously. If you guys have any questions, leave them in the comment section below. I'll make sure to read and reply to every single one of your comments. I hope you guys enjoyed watching the design process and the discussion that we had. If you guys want to see more of these videos, let me know. Give this video a like. Share this video with anybody that you think might need, a little bit of guidance when it comes to making this decision for their business. So, with that being said, my name is June with Ray Signs, where we don't just make signs, we make brands. So, I hope you guys are able to join